Hey guys, so since you guys liked the last video I did on peel and stick wallpaper, I figured I would make another video that goes on a little bit more details about it. If you guys missed the last video I did, I'll put a link in the description as well as one on your screens, so make sure you go check that out after you're done watching this one. My name is Blake, and if you're new here, I make videos about DIY projects, so make sure you go subscribe down below. Nailed it! The tools you'll need to complete this will be a utility knife, tape measure, hair dryer, plastic putty knife, and a soft towel. The towel is just in case the putty knife starts scratching the wallpaper, but it's not necessary. So the first thing to do is to measure our wall. For me, I got 105 inches by 111 inches, which gives me 81 square feet. On Amazon, it says my roll covers 14.5 square feet, so I'm going to need 6 rolls, but I'm going to order 1 more roll just in case I mess up. The wallpaper itself is pretty thin and feels, well, like paper. It also has a grid on the back for cutting straight lines just in case you decide to pre-cut it. The design my wife picked out this time was a chevron pattern that kind of looks like paint strokes or a magic marker. To start off, you can just simply unpeel the 2 layers just like you would a sticker. Once you get it up on the wall where you want it, take your putty knife and start from the center and work your way out. Just to prove to you guys that this will not damage your walls, I first put it on my wall and I peeled it off slow and then fast, and my wall was perfectly fine afterwards. If you find yourself coming across an issue like this, take out your hairdryer and put a small amount of heat on the wallpaper. Just make sure you don't do too much because it could damage it. While you're putting some heat on it, slowly pull downwards to straighten the crease out. Then, once you feel like most of it came out, slowly take your putty knife and push it back down again. You might also be wondering if this works on textured walls. My walls don't have a ton of texture on them, but I did find a decent spot to try it on. After applying it with a decent amount of pressure, it worked just fine. Now that we know how this stuff works, let's start applying it. I decided to start on the left-hand side of the room and work my way to the right. I also found it easiest to drop the entire roll so I wasn't fighting against it. My ceiling seemed a little bit off, so I decided to overhang the wallpaper about an inch onto the ceiling, and I'll show you that in just a sec. Basically, you just line up the side of the wall with the roll of wallpaper and unpeel the back as you work your way down. Once you get to the bottom, take your putty knife and make sure the wallpaper is down all the way. Then take your knife and cut the line between the wall and the baseboard, but make sure you don't push too hard because it could damage it. Since I overhung the ceiling because it was a little slanted, I'm just going to do the same thing I did at the bottom. Once you get to the next row, I just overlap the 2 layers by about 1/4 of an inch. Overall, working with the wallpaper is pretty forgiving. If you mess up, you can just peel it off the wall and try again. If you come across an outlet, start taking off the front cover. If this is uncomfortable for you, you can turn off the breaker first. Then just take the wallpaper and roll it down over the outlet. Take your putty knife and move in a circular motion around the outlet. Just make sure not to stretch the wallpaper too much or else this will happen. If it does, then take your knife and cut around the outlet, being sure not to cut any wires behind it. Once the pressure is off, you can slowly push it back down again. Then just replace the cover. Once I got to the last section, I noticed I'd only be using half the roll. It was a little tricky to apply this to the wall without the other side sticking to the adjacent wall. There could be better ways to do this, maybe cutting the roll in half first and then applying it. Either way, I found this worked best for me. I just had to make sure I took my time. After you get it in the right position, I applied it just like I would at the top or the bottom of the rows, just by taking my putty knife and going up and down where the two walls meet. Then just cut it with your knife and peel off the excess. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If this helped you out, drop a like down below and consider subscribing for more content just like this. My name is Blake and I hope you learned something today and save some money in the meantime. I'll talk to you guys later.